There's talk out there about John Kerry for Secretary of Defense. Now, it was bad enough when the Democrats nominated him for president. But the specific job of Secretary of Defense, truly unbelievable, isn't it? It's like appointing Dracula in charge of the nation's blood supply or something like that. What are you talking about now, Mark? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I asked Mr. Producer to dig up, and he dug up Kerry's April 22, 1972 testimony in front of the William Fulbright Committee. Now, you may recall William Fulbright, longtime well-known racist and segregationist from Arkansas, and, of course, Bill Clinton's mentor, and Bill Clinton gave him the Medal of Freedom, Bill Clinton being our first black president. And in any event, he was testifying in front of the Fulbright Committee, trying to undermine our armed forces, our men and women in uniform fighting in Vietnam, and that area of the country, of the world, that region. And in the middle of the war, he lies under oath. He lies under oath about our armed forces. So, of course, Obama's considering him for Secretary of Defense. But I'll remind you, the American people, what he said. What he said 40 years ago. Cut one, go.
They told the stories of times that they had personally raped, cut off ears, cut off heads, taped wires from portable telephones to human genitals and turned up the power, cut off limbs, blown up bodies, randomly shot at civilians, razed villages in fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan, shot cattle and dogs for fun, poisoned food stocks, and generally ravaged the countryside of South Vietnam.
This is John Kerry talking about our soldiers in Vietnam, our friends in Massachusetts, WRKO country and so forth. You must be thrilled with all the liberal jerks up there who vote for jerks like this, your senior citizen, as your senior senator, only to be joined by what's-her-face now, Elizabeth Warren. Oh, for crying out loud. It's just unbelievable. So, of course, he's qualified to be Secretary of Defense because he perjured himself. And look how he talked about the American Armed Forces as if they were Nazi stormtroopers, the SS. It's just sickening that this man is a senator. And Secretary of Defense, oh, that would be perfect, wouldn't it, under this president? Sure. But also, let us recall what he said just 7 years ago on Deface the Nation about our troops in Iraq. Cut to, and by the way, it's not Genghis Khan, you idiot, it's Genghis Khan. All right, cut two, go.
And there is no reason, Bob, that young American soldiers need to be going into the homes of Iraqis in the dead of night, terrorizing kids and children, women, breaking sort of the customs of the historical customs, religious customs, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Iraqis should be doing that.
Yes, Iraqis should be breaking into homes of the dead of night, terrorizing kids and children and so forth. You know, not our troops. You see a pattern here? This self-hating schmuck? What did he say? That's right, I said it. And he said a lot worse. Psst, unbelievable. And then, of course, in October 2006, one more time, he talks about our armed forces and the brave men and women who are better than the rest of us. Cut three, go.
You know, education, if you make the most of it, and you study hard, and you do your homework, and you make an effort to be smart, you can do well. If you don't, you get stuck in Iraq.
There he is. Potential future Secretary of Defense. And how much you want to bet every single Republican votes for him when he's nominated? Well, we can't vote. A president gets to choose. Isn't it amazing a president gets to choose, except when the president's Ronald Reagan or George H.W. Bush or George W. Bush. Then they just don't get to choose. Harry Reid announced after Bush was reelected in 2004 that his major initiative, reforming Social Security with certain private accounts, was going to be destroyed. And he stopped Bush dead cold. And he spent the rest of Bush's 4 years doing everything humanly possible to undermine him. And before him, Tom Daschle did exactly the same thing. And as I told you the day after the election, when I was addressing John Boehner, never, never do these people stand up and accept the results of an election. If they lose an election, it's something to evade, to circumvent. And that's exactly what they do. They never step back. Never. That's why, more than ever, you can hear me. I have nothing but contempt for Republicans who accept this and then turn on the base. And I have a growing contempt, and there's enough contempt there already, for some of these pseudo-conservative outlets, which are really Republican outlets or neoconservative outlets or whatever you want to call them, that are doing more damage to conservatism than anything else. And maybe in the future I'll go down the list from my humble point of view of exactly what and who I'm talking about. These outlets that expect conservatives to fund them when they have their little charity drives, or to subscribe to them, or to watch them, they have a funny way of treating conservatives. And you can address that, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to tolerate it. It's your time, it's your money. You don't have to let these people depress you or attack you.